So what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Angel, and today I want to discuss the things I wish I would have known before I gave birth. These are all just kind of personal to me. I mean, some of you guys might have been smarter and wiser when it came to childbirth. These are the 10 things that I literally didn't know until the day I was giving birth. So let me just go ahead and start with this one. It might not relate to everyone, but it definitely will if you are a military spouse. With my first baby, I gave birth at a military hospital. And I was under the impression that when I started having contractions and was in labor that I would be admitted into the hospital. Well, that was not the case. The military hospital that I was at made me wait until I was at a 5 centimeters dilated before they would admit me into the hospital. So basically, I had to wait until I was halfway there before I got a room in the hospital and before I could get the epidural. So just be prepared that you might, if you are planning on giving birth in a military hospital, you might have to wait until you are 5 centimeters dilated before you can be admitted into the hospital. If you plan on getting the epidural, just know that yes, the epidural will help ease the pain and help ease your contractions, and you won't really feel anything after you get the epidural. But when you go to push that baby out, I don't know if it's for everyone, but I felt both times, I've had 2 kids, both times I have had the epidural, and both times I have felt every little bit of my baby coming out. When you are on the epidural, you still will feel some pain, you will feel pressure, and the biggest part of the delivery that I felt was my baby's head coming out. And then basically when her head came out, then it wasn't as bad. It was just getting past her head, then it was fine after that. My babies have big heads, so they get that from their daddy, not from me. This is another thing that I didn't know about until the day I gave birth, but there are other forms of pain relief other than the epidural. So when I was admitted with my first daughter, I was in so much pain because I didn't know how to manage my pain, like through breathing or anything. So I would tense up and all that jazz while I was in labor. So I was already at a 5 by the time I got to the military hospital, and I was in like legit pain. I couldn't even bear it. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And so as soon as they said I could be admitted into the hospital, I looked at the nurse and I'm like, I want the epidural. And then I'm like, and what can you do for me right now? So I don't know what the magic juice was that she gave me through my IV, but I am glad she did because I was in so much pain. I couldn't even bear it with my first kid. Before you go to the hospital, research all avenues of pain relief if that is what you want to do, if you want to have a medicated childbirth like I did. Speaking about pain relief, breathing and relaxing your body seriously does help. With my first kid, I did not breathe. I did not relax my body. I literally would tense up and try to run away from the pain. It wasn't until I got to the hospital with my first kid that a nurse started trying to coach me through how to breathe because I did not know what I was doing. I felt like a boss at giving birth the second time. So as soon as my contractions started to happen with my second kid, I literally would close my eyes and I would just breathe and I would focus on breathing. And when I gave birth to my first baby, the nurse who was talking to me, she said something very, very helpful that I remembered with my second baby. She told me, do not run away from the pain. And in my mind, it made sense. It's like, don't try to run from the pain, accept the pain and just know it's happening and then relax your body because you are in control of the pain. So what I did was I just closed my eyes and I would just relax my body and I would breathe and I would just focus on breathing. And then if anyone was in the room, I was like, shh, shh, don't talk to me. Just shut up so I can focus on breathing because I couldn't have any noise. I could have honestly, with my second kid, went all the way without an epidural, but I got the epidural just because I knew how painful it was when the head comes out. That's the only reason I got the epidural. But yes, I literally made it to an 8 before I got the epidural. So yay for me the second time. First time I sucked. Second time, it's like you're a boss at giving birth. So yeah, just know breathing, relaxing, don't run from the pain. It really does help. I did not know that when you get the epidural that you have to have a catheter. And I mean, it makes sense because I knew that when you got the epidural, you couldn't move around. So if you can't move around, you can't get up to go pee. So basically, if you plan on getting an epidural, just know you're gonna have a catheter. Also, I did not know that showers and warm water really does help ease the pain. It relaxes your body, and it's kind of like a heat compress, I guess. It eases the cramps. I don't know, but it does help. So if you are in labor, just get in the shower or a bath. This is also something that I didn't know about giving birth. Okay, so when you watch people on TV give birth, you see that they are exposed down like this from the waist down. But what I didn't know is you are basically laying on that table naked. If you choose to do skin to skin with your baby, you just kind of rip it open. So you're just laying on that table, everything's out, you're just naked and you're holding your baby. But you know, no one cares, like they see it all the time. So there's no reason to feel awkward about it, but just know at some point during your labor and delivery, you are gonna be naked. This I literally didn't know. Your water does not have to break for you to go into labor. With both of my kids, my water never ever broke on its own. I had a doctor break my water every single time. Actually, the first sign of labor for me was I lost my mucus plug, and that's just something that it looks like kind of like bloody snot in the toilet, and some people lose it all at once. With my first baby, I actually lost my mucus plug all at once, but with my second baby, it was only coming out a little bit at a time, and the only reason I noticed that it was falling out was because I was actively looking for it. But yes, losing my mucus plug was the only way I knew that I was in labor. Okay, so this could be a personal pain tolerance thing, but when I got the epidural both times, it did not hurt me. So I was expecting for it to hurt, but it never ever hurt me when I got it. I feel like if you wait long enough and progress on your own and just feel the contractions, then when you go to get the epidural, it is not gonna hurt because you will know what real pain feels like. Okay, so the final thing that I didn't know about when I gave birth was the fact that you have to get past the nurses at the front table before they'll give you a room. And those nurses, let me just say, they are not always friendly. Like when I gave birth to my second daughter, they were not the nicest people, because we walked up there and my husband told them that I was in labor, and they were like, that's what everyone thinks. And they were kind of rude, and it really made me mad. And because I knew I was in labor, this was my second baby. Anyway, right over. The nurses are not always friendly at the front. But yes, so you kind of have to get past them to get your room. So what they do is they're gonna take you into this little, so just know they're going to examine you and tell you if you are in real labor or not. And if they don't think you are far enough along, they might tell you to go home and not give you a room, or they might even tell you to walk around the hospital for a little bit and then come back and get re-examined. So just because you think you're in labor and just because you feel like you need to be admitted in the hospital does not mean they're gonna admit you into the hospital. They're gonna take their sweet time doing it. So that is all the things that I didn't know about giving birth, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, please hit the bell notification, and please leave a nice comment down below. And that's all. Love you guys.